All right, thanks for joining everyone. Today we are going to run through the Gora Node Mainnet setup. So Mainnet node here through the Gora portal, and the first thing we're going to do is navigate to Gora.io. We will scroll down and we're going to see this swap window. So we have a swap feature in here through Tinyman where we can connect our wallet and swap our Algorand for Gora. The mainnet Gora node requires a 10,000 Gora minimum to stake and earn rewards. So we'll show you through the entire process. So the first thing we're going to do is connect our wallet, and we are going to use the Para wallet today, and we will use Para Mobile. So now we have connected our Para wallet, and we can see that we do have a balance of algo in here. So we're going to go 10,005, just a little bit over, so that we have our 10,000 Gora, and we have a little bit for transactions. And now we will swap. Be sure to have your Para wallet open and ready to confirm the transaction. And we'll just give it a few seconds here, and we can see that the swap was completed. If we go back to the swap, we can look at our Gora, and we now have 10,000 Gora and a much lower algo balance. So next, now that we have swapped and we have our token, we are going to navigate to the Mainnet app. And then we will go to the node portal, and we will connect the wallet that we just used to swap our token. So give me a second here. And we are connected, and we can see that we do have our Gora balance there. And confirm our main address. So the node portal is a little bit different than the validator portal. So the node portal, the main address that you will be using is the wallet address that you connected with. This is a little bit different in the validator portal. So just know that your mainnet address here is the wallet address, and we will need to copy this and use it in the terminal in a later step. So now that we're connected, we're set up, we have our token, we are going to go over to the Gora GitHub, and we're going to want to be in the Node Runner user manual. Now, we do encourage everyone to read through the documentation fully before starting the process so you understand what you're getting into, but I will break it down for you here very quick. The first thing that we're going to do is pull in the binary. We're going to change the executables. We're going to initialize the binary, and then we're going to start it. And that's pretty much it. The Gora team has done a wonderful job of making this node setup process very simple, with most of the work being automated. Now, there's a couple different ways you can run. So run Node Runner on AWS. We are not doing that today. We are going to be running our Node Runner on any Docker-enabled host. So that's what we will be using. And let's first grab this URL, and we're just going to pull in our binary by using a wget command. All right, so I have a clean Linux instance here set up through Vultr. The only thing that I did was go sudo apt install docker.io, and I ran this to install Docker on my machine. This is the only prerequisite required for the Node Runner software. So if we run Docker version, we can see I do indeed have Docker installed. So, but if we list out, we can see there's nothing here. It is empty. So we will wget and pull the URL. This just takes a few seconds to pull this in. We can list out, and we see that we have a file called Goracle. So the next step is to change the executables by change mode plus X to executable. The Goracle file will list this out. It is now green. This means that it is executable. So going back to our documentation, we've pulled in the binary. We have changed the file to executable, and now we are going to go through the initialization process. So when you run this command, Gora init, it is going to prompt you with a couple of different questions. Today, we're just going to use the default Algo Node third-party API to be able to connect to the Algorand blockchain, as the Gora network sniffs the Algorand blockchain for data requests, so we have to have a connection back to Algorand. If you are running a validator node where community members can delegate to your node, we do recommend that you always run your own Algorand node, and this is simply for performance. But we're going to use the default today to make this simple, and we will hit yes, use Algo Node Algorand API service, yes, and we do not have an API auth token, so we're just going to press enter for the free tier default. But do understand that your node won't be the most performant if you are just using the free tier default. So enter your main Algorand account address. That's where we navigate back over to our node portal, and we copy the address here, which is the same as our wallet address. We're going to drop this in, and it has spit out, well, one, it's writing a new config file, right, in home atom.goracle. So this .goracle config file, we'll open this up and we'll see that we are connected to the Algo Node Algorand API service, so that we know we have a proper connection to the Algorand blockchain. But right now, it wants us to take our participation account address. So we'll copy this, and we are going to enter it here. And now if we scroll down, there's a register button. We will click this and make sure that you have your wallet open and ready to sign the transaction. Give it a couple seconds. And beautiful. We can see that we are now registered. So if we go back, it says, please register. When done, press enter to continue. So we will enter, and now we can see we don't have a balance, but the account setup was confirmed. Everything looks good, but we haven't staked. We haven't put anything into this account yet. So we want to stake, and we will do the minimum 10,000 Gora, confirm our stake. Again, make sure you have your wallet open to confirm the transactions. And amount staked successfully. Wonderful. So our Gora balance is now 5. Let's refresh this and see if it will. Beautiful. Stake amount 10,000. And beautiful. Current algo balance and participation gas are 0. So we do recommend that you take your participation address and you are going to fund this with at least 10 algo. And the reason is this is used in confirming transactions. Your node will also earn a little bit of algo, so you shouldn't have to continue to refill this over time, but we do recommend that you place 10 algo in your participation address. And then we're good. So we've staked 10,000, our node is registered. We can see here, actually, we have a deregister account. So if you want to close this down, you can come here and deregister and take it off. Beautiful. So now everything is good. Our node has been initialized. So let's list out, and we can see that here's the .goracle config file. So if we cat.goracle, and cat is just for concatenate. This is just to read what is within the file. So we can see here that the server, HTTPS mainnet API Algo Node, this is the URL connecting us to the Algorand blockchain through Algonode's third-party API service. So if you're running your own Algorand node, there are files where you will get your server URL and your authentication token, and you will add these in here, save the config file, and then restart your node, and that will connect you to the Algorand blockchain through your node that you're running locally. A lot of us are running if you are running an Algo node, you can run it on the same instance. Just make sure that you have enough resources to cover that so you don't have any performance issues. So let's clear this out and go back to the manual. And now the only step left is to start this. So if we scroll down to 3B, run node runner on any Docker enabled host, it shows that all we do is run Goracle Docker status, Goracle Docker start. Goracle Docker status if you want to look at the status of the node. And let's note here that it says to make it switch into the background upon startup, add -- background. So we want to add this flag to the startup command. So if we run Goracle Docker start, if we run this right now, the moment we exit out of our terminal, the node will stop. So we're going to add that background flag, and this will keep it running in the background. So we can see that we do have the latest version of Goracle Node Runner, and we have started Docker container with the ID here. So to see that it is running correctly, we will do docker logs -f Goracle NR. This is the name of our Goracle container. So looking here, this is exactly what you want to see. We have our main address, we have our participation address, our smart contract ID, main smart contract, and then token asset ID, and we are waiting for next Oracle requests. So if we let this run for a little bit, and I will, and I'll speed up the video so that you can see what the log output is supposed to look like. But while we are waiting for that, let's just do a quick recap of everything that we did here today. So we first went through and we swapped our token to ensure we had the minimum 10,000 Gora. We opened the Mainnet app, we went through, connected our wallet, registered, started our node, went through the initialization process, we staked our 10,000 Gora. Remember to add 10 algo to your participation address so it can sign transactions, and we followed all of this through the node runner manual in the Gora GitHub. So let's go back, and we can see right here, processed blockchain rounds 333, blah, blah, blah. So every couple minutes, you should see processed blockchain rounds, and this will just go and go and go and go. So if this is what you're seeing in your logs, your node is up and you are running correctly. And then if you ever want to shut down your node, simply deregister, make sure that you delete your Goracle binary and your Goracle config, the .goracle file. And that is everything. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit us up on Discord, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you. Bye.